Okay, well, I hope you enjoy our highly entertaining stream visuals right now that we have. This is the new technology of streaming. You better appreciate it. Okay. Okay, let's get some things. Oh, those are things. All right. All right. How's that? How is that, everybody? Okay. Oh, I gotta commit some things I did on my laptop. Let's do this. Look at those gains on the screen. Yeah, I was looking at telemetries today, and yeah, you know, things. Wait, what just happened? It zoomed extra far real fast. It just went too fast. Anyway, things happen. That's all. Why did that take so long? Oh, table resize. Duh. I was looking right at it. I was looking right at the table resize. Okay. Okay. Let me check in this level that I was working on the laptop. Wait, what's this? Okay. There's some source code changes. Okay. Level design in progress, period. Oh, come on, dude. What is wrong? How much CPU is used by telemetry? Not very much. It's pretty good. You usually don't have to worry about it. Okay, that is committed. That is still the ThinkPad X1 crap stream. I looked for new laptops several times. I still can't find anything that looks acceptable to buy. It's like so grim. It's so grim that I would rather use a laptop that I know I strongly dislike than attempt to buy a new laptop. That's how bad it is. I'm going to start out by designing an easier level that I want to make. I had an idea for an easier level. And like we were sort of doing this one and that didn't work. And I maybe want to change the aggro rules and stuff. But I want to do one called, wait, why did my drafts not check in? What? Did I not update the right repository? I didn't update the right repository. If you want to succeed in the games industry, etc. I want to make this level called Rotator that's like, I didn't make that one yet. I tried to make this one and it didn't work. So I am sad, but we're going to make a new level. Make sure there's not one called that. Just being careful. All right. Rotator. You say rotato, I say rotato. Okay. So this is I'm gonna delete a lot of things here. The idea for this level is to get your friend out of jail. I don't know if that should be the friend, but it's someone. And there's going to be no monsters. And there's just going to be one of these. All right. This is going to be... maybe green beam. Actually, endpoint. Endpoint. That's great. And then all this is going to go. And then we're going to have... oh, we have an exit over there. Never mind. So this... is going to be like... this thing... I mean, I guess we're going to be like there. Actually, let's just do the following. So like there, there. I don't know. Like, look, she's in jail. She can't get out. Okay. Can't get out. She's a very sad person. However, she wants to get there and there. Okay, so let's see how the rotation, whoops. Let's see how the rotation comes out. Like, if I push this across, yeah. So it ends at the same rotation that it begins. And there's no way to change that because the island surfaces. I'm hoping I didn't make this level before, but so so now that's very sad because you can't get her out with that. All right. But what you can do, if you could shift this by, let's say 3 square. Let's say So I'm going to delete the back half of this, but then I'm going to move everything anyway. So like, all right. We're going to say, hey, look. Hey, look. So there's a 3 square offset. We're going to continue to make this island a different shape, but like if I do this, right? Wait, what? Oh, because that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 squares by the time you get to the end. Right. Okay. But actually we want 5. So here I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And now if I push it, it'll be facing down, right? So like you don't want to do that, but you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that it's up, and then you could push it. And then you could beam it, and then she can get out. So that's pretty good. And since we're playing with this vertical wall, we're going to make this a little more interesting, right? Okay, so since we already have this verticality in the level, we could do something like instead of having a wall here, we could actually just have her like trapped like on a higher island, right? That would be the same because she has no way to get across. But it's like not as artificial as having a wall. We could put that a little bit further away. Right? It's like cleaner. It's aesthetically nicer. Of course, our scene is a little bit off center here, but I want to sort of give, okay, so if I do this, see, this actually isn't good. This is interesting. This actually lets you, I was like, wait, because this will add up to 4, but it won't add up to 4. It'll add up to 5, right? So this lets me rotate it. Yeah, the same way. I don't really want to do that. But what I wanted to do was add like more choice seeming choice to this island, right? So if we do this, if we actually bring this down and then this up and we cut this off, we could even bring it up a little more. It's like, okay, you could really only push from up here. Now the thing is, okay, so the thing is, whoops, hold on. Right now you can actually, because this is 2 offset, you can actually get 2 different things. Like if I push from up here, I get same direction, right? Wait, hold on, what? Oh, because I moved the island. All right. So we actually want to move the whole island 1 left. We'll move this stuff down here later. It doesn't matter. So now, no, 1 right. Maybe we wanted to move it 1 left. Okay, the point is you need to be a multiple of 4 squares for that to end up that way. Okay, so now the thing is, though, I can get it pointing the opposite direction here, right? So I actually want it not to be that way. So like this part has to be 4, I think, right? So now if I do this here, it's the same direction, or is it one? Is that one too many? No, it's the same direction. Okay. So no matter what, no matter where I push it from, it's the same direction. All right. So, and I guess we like start this down here probably. And to make it even more fun, we could up here have a 1, 2, whoops, 3, 3, 4. Like that's funny because that's still the same direction or the same amount. And this gives the island like more shape, right? Like, I don't know, we could even, this is getting silly, but we could even do this. And then you can't actually push vertically here because you can't get above it or below it. But like, that could be fun, right? So if we start these here, we could like, I don't know, we could put this, could put the gem like here or out here. I don't know. Maybe we put, I mean, maybe we put the exit out here. Who knows, right? But we could start the guy down here. Point being, he's like, what happens here? Okay, same, right? This is like same. Oh, I actually need, so sort of the problem with this plan is I actually could push it down and then push it up, and that gives me the right thing. Well, no, it still takes 3, right? Anyway, so, okay, first flaw number 1 in the plan is I want him to be able to get it up there. So I guess I flatten out the back of this island, right? Although who knows, like maybe we like make it nicer back here. Let me center the camera a little better. Okay. So like if he goes up here, I mean, maybe I just put this up here. I guess once it's there, there's no saving it. I mean, unless I erase it back here, but that's really hard. I just want a place to put it that doesn't necessarily, like what if I put it there? Anyway, so the point being, you do this. And then you go. And then she goes, and then you go, and then that. So that's actually a successful level that I have designed. What do we think about this? Is there a way to make this better? You running Poopos? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ran Poopos until it stopped working. Okay. So it sort of doesn't matter, right, which way you could start down and push it up, or you could start up and push it down, because the rotation direction of the stone is always like counterclockwise, regardless of, right? But what you can't do is push it down, and it has to be in the same direction, right? I think. All right, so down pushes me down. Oh, no, it doesn't. Right, because it's always counterclockwise. Hmm. I don't like that as much because it seems easier to just like stumble into the solution that way. I'd love Pupos. Dude, I ran Pupos until it stopped working because they took the servers down for that version of Ubuntu, which Pupos is pretending to be a different thing from, but is really the same thing from. What about more staging in the center of the sea? Giving more options for vertical pushes. I don't understand. You can keep the guy and the gem on the opposite and make it rotate opposite direction when pushed up, down. No, I mean, there's no real reference point. I don't see it. Like if I saw something that was a better answer for which way things should rotate, we could consider doing that. Sorry, big yawn. But I don't actually see, like, having it be consistently counterclockwise or consistently clockwise is the only real thing that makes sense. That I could think of. Unless you have a reference point, there's always like rotate around the reference point, but this is not that kind of game. 2 spaces of water, 3. No, because then you can push from the right place, right? Like we could make an earlier version of this level where you just have to push from the right place, but like I think that level already exists. Pretty sure it already exists. Does it matter here? I mean, the reason I don't like it is because if you have to do something very specific in it to solve a puzzle, then it's unlikely that you'll brute force that or stumble into it. Whereas if you just sort of have to push it, be confused and push it back and forth a few times, it's like, well, yeah. You know? Maybe you like can't push it back, right? I don't want to make you have to race it, but like the shape of the island on the bottom could be such that like we could just be real stupid with it, right? And be like this. So you can't really do this though, because you could push it back here, right? And if we don't put that, then you can't get back on that line without doing this. Oh, but that, okay, but you can't push off the bottom here. The thing is, this is a very complicated island shape. And it's like, unless we have some sub puzzle about how do I put the gem in the socket, which like, this doesn't really have to do with the actual thing. Did I have a bunch of code in my pocket for quickly getting the programmer art puzzle scaffolded? I wrote it all from scratch, basically. I mean, I kind of had an editor laying around from the previous project that I was working on a little bit, but that game was actually 3D, and I actually had to backport it all into 2D to make it work. So it's like, they didn't really have, it was kind of from scratch. Oh, what? Is there some other way to block pushing? I mean, I could put a fence. That's silly. Like, I don't want to give away the idea of the level by making it all complicated down here. What about another island? Player on the left has to teleport himself to the middle island. Only then will it get the correct orientation. I mean, that's a puzzle you could do, but I want to do this puzzle. Just have a turnaround room on the end. I see. Right. That's a good point. So, like, it could be like the following. It could be like this. So you push it, go, and go back. That's actually maybe better because I mean, okay, this is a little bit silly. Like, if you actually have to get the gem out and then get it back some way, the thing is, you can't really get it back. Like, if we actually did this, then you actually have to take it out in order to use this as a turnaround. Right? Because if I just do this, now, like, I'm screwed, right? I could race it. This is probably close enough to, oh, maybe not. Huh. Probably not close enough to race. Maybe I could barely do it. I don't think so. So it's down, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right. Whoa, what happened there? Okay, I was pushing it. It just barely. Yeah, I don't think that's really doable. Okay, so it is, however, workable if I do this, right? I get this thing out of there. I do that. I do that. I bring it back. And then I have to, like, frickin'... I mean, I don't want it to be too much of a pain in the ass. I go 1, 2. I kind of like this one, actually. I mean, it's a pain in the butt, but the pain in the butt means that you actually have to know what you are doing in order to score. Whoops. Seems a little finicky maneuvering around the gem. I don't know. Is there something better to do with the gem? gap 3 spaces long instead of 4. If the gap is 3 spaces long, then you can get different orientations pushing left or right. The reason it's 4 is so that it doesn't matter which part of the coast that you push from. Unless you mean 3 spaces on the bottom of the island, which I don't know why that would matter. Moving the block around the gem as you bring it around. I mean, maybe, but it also maybe means you know what you're doing. Okay, is there a place that I could put the gem that is less... Like, actually, I could just put the gem up here, and that's actually fine, right? Because I bring this guy around, I bring him up, and I don't really go around the gem at all at that point. You know, if you know where to put it. I don't know, this seems pretty good. Right? Is there anything else we should do? Redinator 2000 or Andre 3000, whatever number you had. Whisper me your name and I'll give you code designer credit for this level. Doesn't it seem like a level Zach might have made already? He might have made this. If he did, then this will get deleted later, and it won't matter that someone got code designer credit. But I just had the idea to do it, and I was like, I want to just get back in my design brain to turn on. If you actually remember anything like this, I know there were definitely ones where it's like you have to push the thing off the right place in the island for it to rotate. But I don't remember one specifically like this, where you had to iterate a vertical push. But maybe that's just me not remembering. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if this one already exists, then rip. You know, it's fine. I designed a... This is a good level, so I feel good about designing a good level for the first time in a long time. So that's enough, even if we don't use it. Level where the stone has to cross several islands and there's only one way to have it add up to the right rotation. The problem with that is you have to get from island to island somehow. It's okay to have similar things created independently. Yeah, I mean, in this particular game, there's going to be a ton of levels already. So, like, we kind of don't want to pad the content by having a lot of similar things. Let me see. So there is a Spin Doctors level. Let's see what that looks like. So this one is called Rotator. Okay, this is a different... Oh, no, because this one... Right, I remember playing this one. This is the one that always goes forward to back, right? because it's always like 6. I played this on the stream. I feel like this is different enough. No, this is finding the right horizontal place to go. Like here. See, so that one didn't 180. That one 360. Of course, then this will 180 it, right? Yeah. So the trick is to find transformations that'll not do that. Oh, but then, so that means this one, right? But then I can't, like, haha, I can't get it back. That's funny. I solved this on the stream before. I don't remember what the solution was. I sort of feel like it has to involve this, but I don't see how. How quickly do different levels load? Well, I mean, these levels don't have a lot of art. The things that make things slow to load, I mean, if you're not a web developer, if you are a web developer, then everything's in JSON and everything is fucking slow to load. But if you're not, then the thing that makes things slow to load is when there's like a lot of graphics and stuff. So let's actually, this is not a fair comparison because it might have processed some stuff, but like, that's like how long it takes to load a full level full of entities, right? So if I select this one, that's not that many. There's like 400 and something things here. That's not that bad. We have some bigger levels. So promised one. Again, let me switch back and forth. Oh, actually, that wasn't during gameplay. Oh, this is a different, fuck. See, we swapped this in for a placeholder. I don't know. Anyway, things are pretty fast loading, yes, but. Had someone at work tell you that parsing JSON is actually fast and you shouldn't worry about it. That person is a no hire at my company. Okay, so let's go back though to this level. I just want to play this level because I don't remember the solution. Is it? See, I almost feel like it should be this, but you can't get it back from here. Oh, and it's the wrong direction anyway. Lol. Okay, wait. I kind of don't get it. So, oh, no, going down here. What is, I remember seeing this before. I was like, aha, I get it. I get it. See, if I stand here and block it, then it's like, well, it's the wrong way, buddy. Bucko. How often do I cut my hair? I don't know, about every 2 weeks. I mean, that said, there are fast parsers for JSON, like Sean McGrath said that he made one. That was pretty fast. But still, if you can parse JSON fast, you can do a better file format even faster than that. But McGrath's was like way faster than everybody else's anyway. There's a SIMD JSON parser. Yeah, but it like fucking mallocs nodes and stuff, doesn't it? So of course it's still slow. How do I solve this level? Why do I not remember? There's no real reason for it to be text format. I mean, text is not the slowest thing about it, though. The slowest thing about it is it's only a semi-structured format. Like, you don't really know what's in there. You don't know the offsets of anything. Like, you could have a readable text file format that was much faster to load. JSON is the gold standard of the web. It's the something standard. I don't think it's gold. Text formats let you ignore the crappiness of little versus big endian. There is no problem with little versus big endian. That's a fucking myth. Nobody cares. People use JSON because it's a standard. Yeah, exactly. Like somebody made it standard. That's why everybody uses it. If they'd made something else standard, everybody would use something else. It's like literally that. His JSON parser could do 1 gig per second. Yeah, that's what he was saying. So if you can do that, imagine what you can do with a real format. Like, why am I not solving this puzzle, everybody? So the irony of that is it only gives me the same thing I already had, right? Doesn't help me at all. Can someone link Sean's JSON parser? I don't know if it's public. I mean, why? You know? I mean, it might be too good to be open source. I can push it back and forth through that one gap on the right. No, because, oh wait, hold on. That'll just rotate it 360, right? So it's pointing to the right, it's pointing left, it's pointing right. Doesn't help. If you had an odd number of squares, you could do that. Like if it was 2 waters there, like so here I can get it vertical. The problem is there's nowhere for me to stand to push that now, right? And then this just sends us back to left. I don't remember. Yeah, basically on this level, the beam has to, I'm going to eventually have to block this stone, right? Because that's what brings the beam down to ground level. But it needs to be rotated from how it is. So I need to block the stone like 1 square off from how I did it there. Or something like that. Left dude could just push it off the rock, and you can't push it off the rock. Is this erase the beam thing? I don't see how it could be. I don't see any way. What am I missing? Okay, so the bottom has an odd number of squares, right? But the problem is once you bring it down here, you can't get it back up, right? So the bottom is no good. The next row, right? This row is 180. This row is 180. This row is 180. And this next row is the same, therefore also 180. This row is 360. No. Oh. Okay, right. No, that's 270, but the problem is once it's on the right wall, you can't get it off the right wall. Right? But if we could rotate it 90, so, oh, that's a 180 if you block it there. So which one, there's one that's a 360, right? Is it this one? Yeah. So that's a 360. If I could like do a 360, I don't know. Can you push it off the rock? Yeah, once the thing sinks, you can push it off the rock easily. So you can reposition it, you know, so I'll show you, right? So if this goes there, that's in the water. Now, the only real place I could push it is there, which is not helpful. Or, I mean, there, which is also not helpful. Why? I'm sure the solution to this is not hard, and my brain is just not enabled. See, that's actually a little better because it's like it's at least pointing in the right general direction. Problem is it's too far from this. Hold on. I don't know, guys. My brain's too tired. Oh, right. Okay. This is a good point, is that we can 180 it, right? So as someone in chat is saying, we can do the following. If we go here and then here, now we're pointing to the right on this side. So we've 180'd it. This isn't quite what we want, but now that we've done that, I guess we can do this plan maybe? How does this work out? Yeah, okay, that solves it because we do that and that. Okay, that is pretty different from the level that I just made. That said, there might be a different one that's similar. Doesn't look like it. This doesn't look like it's organized. It looks like it's a one-off in the middle of a bunch of random levels right now. So I'm going to actually keep mine in for now, and we'll decide later if it's different enough. I feel like it is. I'm going to record a test for it. Maybe I'll turn off my screen while I give somebody real name credit in the video game. We have just our little designers tab. I don't know in what way this is gonna manifest in the final game, but it will in some way. Either on the credit screen or somewhere, maybe embedded in the game somewhere. It's been fun doing stream things where people get design credits. Like, that's cute. All right. So oh, dude. That sounds like a good day for you, man. It's good action. But wait, does that mean that you had something wrong where it seemed like it was going to be bad? Does it mean you had something else wrong? ETA from locking levels and saying this is first pass of the game. I kind of don't feel like it's going to be like that. Like George, like locking levels, no, this is first pass of the game will happen at some point. But like, dude, even with Braid, I made a completely new level in Braid, or I destroyed one of the old levels and replaced it with a better one, like 1 week before we went gold on Xbox 360, right? Like, that's just the way I do things. Witness wasn't quite that crazy, although actually, yes, it was, because the live action video in the Witness, we recorded and shipped after we submitted the PS4 final, and we patched it in, and we had 1 week from then till release, and we patched it in with the initial release. Yeah. How long are we from doing that? I'm actually not sure. It's hard to think about this game because there's just so many levels, right? And so that where we're at right now is we've got a broad organization. And we're going through right now and we're getting more specific about like, okay, what exactly levels go together here? Where do they live in the overworld? Is there too much of a gap here? Do we need more of a sequence between these? Are these levels bad? So we are sort of rooting through. I would say the rate of new level creation is slower than it was. So that's some kind of good sign of getting to the end, but we're still, like, I'm not going to lie, we probably still have to make at least 100 levels. But like when I'm cranking on levels, I may make like 5 in a day. So like even if we have to make 200 levels, it's not that many. Of course, then some of those 5 levels end up having exploits or whatever, but how many levels is too many levels? I don't know. How many people are on the team? There's like 12 people at the company. Not everybody is working on this game, but most people are. Most people are. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna record this and then we'll try something else. So what a butt pain this level is. All right. Bam. The recording is a developer mechanic. It's not actual gameplay. Okay. So I tried to make this level on stream the other day. That didn't go that well. And then I tried to make this level. This one didn't go well. But I kind of want to make something freaking good. This one is a good idea that I want to come back to and try to make it work. The idea behind this one is to make like a double beam over here by like these guys, and then you like see they're rotated the wrong way, and there would be more setup to this of figuring out how to set it up, but they're rotated the wrong way, so she like goes and oh wait, I didn't save. Right, I guess she doesn't aggro them right now. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting. But anyway, the point... I had it set up at some point on my laptop so that you could rotate the beams toward each other and get a double. The problem is that doesn't support her in the water and she frickin' falls. And it's very sad. What are my thoughts on making a level that's an Easter egg to witness or braid? I don't know what that means. I don't know exactly what you're suggesting. I'm not super into Easter eggs. Exactly, not in that sense. Like, I like it when something is its own thing in as much as possible, right? And doesn't. I mean, if it's natural to put in a reference to another game, that's fine. But friends told you it looks like a sperm. I mean, it does kind of. I don't know. I cannot advise you on life choices. Your game's killer feature is time travel through game state. I don't think that's an accurate. This game just has undo like lots of puzzle games. I don't. It's not particularly. How? Why is this? Oh, whoops. How did I mess this up? Oh, I think it's messed up just because I put the thing in the middle at the end. Like, I don't know why they're not aggroing her now. I guess she has to be closer to them. Yeah, I guess I did the following thing. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think I did this. So we go here. We go here. We go here. It's easier if I do this first, and then push, and then like yeah, they'll aggro on her now. So that's cool. The problem is she falls into the water and dies, which is not the best. Because that's the way orange beams work. So I was like, is there some other beam? T-poses trigger you. So the reason we put them in T-pose in the editor is because if I animate them, only the GPU knows where the limbs are. So then you would click and it's not right. I was going to do that anyway and just evaluate the pose on the CPU. But then I was like, oh, I'm going to have to debug that shit. But in principle, we would only have to evaluate it on the CPU if you like click on the guy, right? So it's actually not that hard. And I think we have CPU skinning code anyway. Welcome to computers. Anyway, what are the beam? Is there a different beam that I could use? Strong beam probably doesn't help. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe we can do something stupid with the strong beam. That would be kind of hilarious. Endpoint, doubling that up doesn't really help. Egg hatch. Yeah, no. Alter beam. Gem beam. I mean, maybe gem beam. Squeeze, doubling it doesn't matter. Maybe it's getting two different color beams, like alter smash, but I don't know. All right, so let me do an easier level because I don't know the answer to that. Well, let me finish going through smash, double, strong, endpoint. Yeah. Okay, so this aggro skip doesn't exist yet, right? Let's make sure. So here's the idea for this one. It's going to be simpler than this, so maybe I'll be able to get it right. Again, maybe there's going to be setup, but the idea is the following. Again, we need to get a beam to the right orientation, probably for a character on this side. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to leave all this stuff because, like, setup. Okay, so the deal is actually no, because I need. We could do the same thing where it's a endpoint beam, like in the other level. And it needs to go vertical. On the other side, what did we do before? I could just copy that island from this level, and then we're good, right? Okay, so except these are down one low and one low. All right, so there's two monsters. Now maybe I actually want this further just so we can have more island. Okay, so the deal is we need to aggro this guy to rotate the thing is the deal. We actually, so right now I think it's set up so it ends up in the same direction, right? We actually don't want that, I guess, or maybe we do. Maybe it's fine. Like, I guess you can't push the guy. Okay, so the problem with this as it stands is and maybe this is something we're going to do with setup, but the problem is, like, if all you have to do is put a monster next to him to aggro, you don't need to do anything smart. Wait, he didn't aggro the monster. What's going on? What? Why are those guys not seeing each other? They should, why aren't they turning toward each other and getting mad? Does it matter? Like, do they care that the square is supported for some reason? That's weird. Oops. No? I don't know why they're not aggroing each other there. That's going to ruin this idea for this level. They're passive aggressive. Wait, what is the deal with airplane food? I think it's worth you to just fly down to San Francisco. I mean, if you want to come to San Francisco, like, it's pretty far from Seattle. I've never driven Seattle to San Francisco. I have driven I've driven like San Francisco to Eugene or whatever, right? Why are these guys not fucking aggroing each other? What is going on? Did I make them just not do that now? No, they have to aggro each other because they kill each other, right? So like, or maybe I made them not do that until you put. 13 to 14 hour drive. I don't know. Yeah, like if every time I went to Seattle, I just flew. Like Seattle to San Francisco is pretty far. How far is like Eugene from Seattle? That's like, it's probably like 3 hours. So I guess I've gone most of the way. Eugene to Seattle is 4.5 hours. Okay. Well, I've gone a significant portion of the way. Okay. So, did I change the aggro rules of these monsters? If so, do I like that? I think I did change it because otherwise they're very they're very noisy, right? Like in Heroes, I think it's because like in levels like this, having them turn toward each other all the time like didn't feel good. And like them being alerted on each other didn't feel good. So they just attack each other. So do they aggro like dragon? If I put a Dragon Ball here, do they aggro the Dragon Ball? That's not a Dragon Ball. No. So monsters, right, monsters cannot trigger this kind of aggro. It only happens. Okay, well we could do a funny trick. Anyway, so maybe I have to put a player out there to do the aggroing, right? Yeah, plane tickets are pretty cheap right now because they're just like, please fly on our airline. Please fly on our airline. Why can't you have different levels of aggro for different levels? Because partly because you want players to learn the game and understand the game and be able to solve problems with what they know. And partly because this whole game is about using the things that you know to generate situations that are surprising. And if we change the rules, then that's a different game than the one that we're making, right? That could be an interesting game. It's just not the one that we're making. So I kind of can't really, I mean, there is a little bit of freedom to change some things, a little bit, slightly, but not a lot. Like we could sort of only change if there are things about the behavior that are not defined specifically by the part of the game that came before, we could like tweak those to get good results. What if there were two enemy types that didn't like each other? Yeah, I mean, we could definitely have these guys aggro on dragons or whatever. That like might be obnoxious in some levels, but it might be fine. But what I'm thinking is actually, you know, maybe you have to get a character out there. Could monsters aggro each other whenever they move? I mean, that would be a weird thing that it's hard for players to figure out, and it would seem inconsistent with earlier part of the game. Like, if I try too hard to come up with things that will supposedly solve this, then I'm gonna have a little bit of this leftover salad from this evening. That'll give me brain power to solve the problem. Yum, yum, yum. You know what's good to have around your house? A giant bottle of Thai chili sauce to put on food. Food always gets better with Thai chili sauce on it. I think it's impossible for that to be true. False. Whatever. Why do they need to aggro for this level? Because that's the idea of the level that I'm trying to make. I need to close out some of these levels from the editor. I'll get another character. Like, I don't know. Get this guy. Who cares? He's fine. Okay, so let's just imagine that this is set up already. Who knows how we're going to do the setup exactly, but okay. Yeah, so I think that was a little bit of a visual confusion from, there's something in the movement system that has to get fixed. Okay, anyway, so we need to aggro it up. And the way we would do that, and the thing is, okay, if we push this guy way over here, then he could walk off to aggro that monster. But then now he can't get back out ever, right? And I guess this has to be 1 up. So the idea is, and this won't work yet, but the idea is, hold on, let me not go too fast because that screws it up. The idea is to aggro him from here. Then this character can get out. And then the trick was do something to like let the character get back left. Like, for example, oh, if he could push. It might work. If he was a pusher character, we need to see. But if he was a pusher character, fuck. I need to fix that movement thing. All right. So we push him there. He aggroes the monster. She gets out. This guy comes back. This guy. Oh, he can't. Fuck. This guy can't push because it's a heavy stack. If he could. Right, so let's say he's another one of these guys with a different colored suit. Bam. Bam. Then, whoops, no, don't do that. Then we push this. Okay. Problem is that's 180 from where we need it. And he will also drown. Oh, except he won't. If it was 180 from how it is, then he could do this, right? And then he would have a place to land when he beams. That's pretty cool. How many levels are there like the previous one that caused me to turn aggro off? Like 20. I don't know, a lot. Okay, so this actually works fine. I think if can't frickin' see. If we actually do this, I think it works fine. I mean, provided we can make the setup fine. Because it doesn't actually matter for this one that it points in the same direction. That was just a tool for thought. What matters is that it doesn't point north, right? Like it should not be possible to get it to point north without aggroing the monster. And, you know, the way to do that is there. Whoa, what the fuck was that? That's very confused. Oh, it's because the monster aggro's at the end. The monster aggro's on the guy before or while he's falling, which fucks it up. Mm. So maybe you have to avoid that happening. So instead of body blocking, like what if this is over here? And so instead of body blocking, you have to push it back on that row. I mean, I don't like these irrelevant complications that are happening, but let's see. Okay, we do this, push back. Okay. That is great. It stops it in an orderly fashion. It, however, is not pointing the way that we need. Don't use the gem, just pass the stone back over. But then I don't have a place to stand to get off the beam. I need that stone. What's my experience been like with game industry awards? I think they're all completely fake. How does Monster Aggro work if two people are in range? I think it sort of picks the closest one. Fake in what way? Well, it depends. Sometimes it's like we're just giving awards to things by our friends instead of things that are objectively the best. Sometimes it's like we're just making up awards to just have awards. Sometimes it's we just kind of don't give a shit who gets the award. We're not taking our post as judges very seriously. Sometimes it's like we're giving out awards for criteria that are different from the ones that we claim. Even IGF? Oh, especially IGF. Pass the stone back over to stop the other guy, then pass it back to the right. That's a good point. It could work that way. Right, because once it's back over there, you could cycle it around. I actually like that. That's good. The question is, how do we get it pointing the right way? If the priest had the monster aggro, could the orange guy push without turning the monster? Possibly. That's kind of another hole in this situation. Except, it's it may be possible to solve that. Maybe, maybe not. That's a good point. Let's see. So if this guy is further away, priest comes over here. This guy comes over here. Yeah. Oh, but then the monster like turned at the end. I mean, that does get the beam pointing the wrong way, but like, I don't know if this is legit, honestly. But then we can go, oh, he can't actually. Okay, but this guy could kill the power and then he could get off. Okay. So like maybe that kind of does it if yeah, not intuitive with the direction it ended up. No. I mean, it sort of is. It sort of makes sense, but I don't really want solving the puzzle to hinge on that. I feel like that's an extra broken red herring. I move the taskbar to the right instead of the left because Windows doesn't correctly, when you open a window, it doesn't really correctly by default position them to the side of the taskbar. So you end up with Windows under the taskbar all the time. Because it's the year 2021 and we haven't figured that out yet. If people don't stop asking me about Braid Anniversary, no, I don't know. I mean, we're still working on it. I don't have a ship date for you. It's my favorite puzzle game. Probably Steven's Sausage Roll. Steven's Sausage Roll. What's my favorite book? Probably Steven's Sausage Roll. Steven's Sausage Roll. So there's some stuff I could do to try to keep the priest out of it. It's like not that great. I'm not thrilled about it. So the thing is, I kind of want this to be an endpoint beam, because that's the cool part about how you get back off the island. And I like most of the mechanics that are figured out here. What I don't like the way, so if there's an endpoint beam, then you kind of have to have that third character. There's not really a way around it that I see. And that third character is what's causing the extra confusion about the monster rotation. Now, if it were a through beam or something, that character could just walk through a wall on her little island, and that's fine, and not be connected to the main island. But it's not a through beam, because we want to use it to get back. It would be evil if you have the jewel start on the top level. I know we do that all the time. We do that kind of thing. It's just right now we're not thinking about that, because like making the setup more interesting isn't that helpful if the main part of the puzzle doesn't help or isn't good enough, right? So the question is how to fix that. So like what I was thinking was, let's just get this. Let's do the full scenario here. So this is like there somewhere. Okay, and this is like there, right? So when we start the level, oh, well, apparently on the first turn we don't do the rotation correctly either. So that's a bug I have to look into. Anyway, so after you do the stuff, you do this. Okay, so now the priest goes and falls to here, all right? There's a few things that could happen. Like the warrior could push everything. That's sort of a lose condition because now I can't get off the island, right? It could be that the priest has to like walk onto a higher area here. And then she can't really aggro the monster because she'll never be as close. So what I mean is like here, I don't know. Imagine you had like a little plateau or something. I don't know. And that's where her exit was. It's just that's kind of messy and weird, and like I don't love it, you know. But that would sort of solve the problem because she would go there, she'd step off. Okay, well, now I sort of have this weird issue. Oh. Lol. Now I have this weird issue that these rocks are trapped. So the positioning of this was not good. Like, I don't know, let's just say it's there for now. That's very restrictive and I don't like it, but like, okay, I still have this problem. I mean, we could put a grading floor there. It's arbitrarily annoying. The priest used the beam to go up instead of down. Only if she starts out high, but I guess we could do that. Like, we could have her use it to leave. That's a good point. The problem is, that means you could aggro the monster with her, probably. maybe not because she's too far. That actually, I don't necessarily like that. Let's mock it up. But the reason I don't necessarily like it is because um, because it adds just more confusion into this whole scenario. So like if this guy was back here, this is like, I don't know, right? This is like that. And she's like here. And you sort of need this weird thing where you need to get the beam there so she can go across. Okay, that's actually, it's not the worst thing. But then you might be thinking like, well, what if this guy is here and pointing that way? Like, does she aggro him? And she doesn't. And you're like, but why? And then, I mean, I guess she can aggro him by falling. It adds a certain degree of confusion. So then you're like, oh, well, maybe that is why I need the other character, right? Still, though, I don't totally love it. Don't totally love it. Would you extend the puzzle to where you need to push the beam onto the higher plateau? Well, I mean, that makes the puzzle not be about what I want it to be. Like, I don't know how you would get behind that beam to push it. The way the rules of the game work, it would have to be a very much more complex setup. Like, very much more. I don't know what to do here. If there a water gap where the stone is now? No, because something has to block the beam. Something has to block the beam. Yeah, these levels have been hard, honestly. I mean, you guys didn't see the one that I was trying to do today. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't successful yet. Maybe it will be someday. But this one, Maybe the setup doesn't. It's not the setup that's the problem right now. It's the actual idea. It's not the setup. I mean, I kind of almost like this. So if there was on the right here some place where I had to put the priest, or she had to ride on my head the whole time. Oh, right. If she rides on my head and then I push this guy, she'll fall and she can't get across anymore. If I could leave her as storage on that, though, I think. Oh, but then she can't be closer than me. Oh, except she can by me doing that. Yeah, that's not. It's not great. It doesn't seem that far from working. I mean, actually, like we could put all the exits on the left here, right? So, like the idea could be that she has to go that way, right? And then we could use her or this stone to block this thing. Oh, but the question was the aggroing, right? Oh, actually, like this is funny, right? So then that means if I blocked it, so the problem is the monster aggroing, but if I somehow didn't, it would point the right way with this extra dealy bopper. That aggroing is so busted. So I do not know what to do here. Oh. Okay, check this shit out. Actually, no, don't. Don't check this shit out. I was just thinking of another variant of her leaving the island, so maybe I actually like that idea. Of using the purple beam to go. Right? So let's rewind to that. So let's say we're here. We're here. She uses the purple beam to go. This guy then so now we have this thing where it's like, okay, yeah, the problem is the aggro is always going to reset. Like, even though we get a one-off here. Are there levels where you deliberately kill a character where you have to? Kinda. There might be a couple like that. Maybe. If you enter a lose condition, I mean, you can undo. You can undo if your character dies or something. So I sort of have this problem where I want the beam to be pointing the other way. So maybe we just put these two. Like if we put these two apart from where they are, right? We're probably going to make this island smaller. So she goes, this guy goes, we're going to use this stone to block the thing, right? We're saying this has to be like this. Okay, that wasn't for some reason what I thought. Oh, because, right. Right, because I stopped at one less by having the beam there. The problem is, okay, so this one is fine because now we get preserve direction, right? It's a multiple of 4, so we preserve the direction. The thing is, this is like where I want it to end up. After the thing falls in the water, which means that the gap would have to not preserve direction we could do something really silly here. I don't like how complicated this is getting, but like if we do this, no, because then we would need to get stuff up there to push it, which is not possible. I feel like there's something simple I can do about this. I feel like it's not that hard, and my brain is just not telling me what to do. If I had like one more stone, which we could add to the level, that would be unfortunate to have more objects, but then we could maybe do it, I guess. Maybe this is another one I want to sleep on. Like there's got to be something to do here. There got to be something to do here. Without, I mean, I can add a bunch of stuff to overcomplicate the level. I could like have a button where you stand on the button over here and it opens up that floor to like ocean and it'll drop the stone in. And then this thing will land on top of it. It's just, that's complication that has nothing to do. It's like not pleasant. It's not beautiful. It's just, oh, I did a bunch of things to make happen what I want to happen. So I said before, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm realizing I have more freedom here than I thought. So right now, if we push, we get direction preserving, right? Which means if I'm this guy, he's going to be aggroed left when I push him, which means we'll get left. Okay. Now, if we get bottom instead, if this is one closer, I think that's fine because we can aggro him to top. I think that just works, honestly. like, let's see. I'm just going to be kind of lazy. No, I won't be as lazy. All right. So I think that just works. Because then I come down here, this goes, right? And that's, oh, what? I guess I knew that because it's direction preserving and we shortened it by 1. I could shorten it by frickin' 2. And that's still fine, I think. I mean, maybe at this point we want to lengthen it by 4 from where it is. But the point being, we're here. Wait, what? Am I... Is something weird happening? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. 7. 8. Like how is that? Oh, it's because, never mind. Right. It's because we needed 9, right? Yeah. So we actually need to go 1 this way. But in my tired state, my brain didn't know that. So like, okay. So here, if I do this situation, now because I went here, I could do this, right? And that will drown me currently. But, you know, this guy can now then pass this back. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, that was super broken visually. We're going to have to fix that. That works, and then that works, and then we kill the power, and then... So that all works if it's not, like, broken from the beginning, right? And I feel like it is, question mark? Okay, hold on. We actually can't... We don't want it to aggro the dude like that. That's no good. Yeah, see, this is annoying, but I could just put the priest on the bottom instead of the top. So that you then have to aggro to the south. And then I think everything just works. Let me try this again to make sure. So yeah. So if I change all this, so now this is like down here, and like, I don't know, we just... Let's compactify it a little bit. I mean, I don't love how compact that is, but like whatever. So she's trapped here. Okay. And this guy is going to be, I don't know, over there somewhere. All right. So we push this guy. we aggro this guy this way. Shoot. She gets out. This guy goes back this way. Except no, right? This guy does this first. Then does this, right? That's great. We send this back across. Okay, this actually works. I don't know why it took me so long to get to this. Okay. Who was it who originally said priest going north? I think it was Toomberkaz. Yeah, whisper me your real name or however you want to be credited, and I'll give you a co-credit on this level. Because that is the idea that made it work. I didn't think at first that it would, but it has. So now I'm real tired. So I want to do some attempt at doing the setup for this, but it may not be the best setup in the world. We'll see. Okay, yeah, see, that screws it up, which is actually interesting, though, because it's like, okay, I need to move the guy away. I need to do this, right? And then there's this. Boop. And then we just need 2 exits here. I mean, it's a little bit weird. So why? I sort of broke my own rule, right? It's like, okay, the level's supposed to be about the guy aggroing the monster. So why do I have all this stuff about getting back to the left? And the reason is the original logic in my head that I don't think I said about that was I want it to seem improbable that you're trying to get the guy to the other side. I want that to be harder to think about because it's like, well, it seems weird because how would I ever get him back, right? But then you start thinking, oh, maybe I could get him back with the purple beam, right? Okay, so like, what can the setup be here? I think if we kind of just have both these guys on the top and like some stones here and like, see, I think this is actually okay. Right? I mean, oh, well, let's also put the gem off a little bit so we can move around freely. So like, if we do this, that goes and then that goes. Oh, but okay. Let's I kind of want this to be pointing the same way as the monster. The reason I put these down here, I think I want this to be a super boring island with no thing around here. Because I want to control, like, if the thing is pointing left when the monster is forward, that's going to change the equation of, like, everything, right? So we're going to do something over here, and going to do this and like that. And this is a very large island. I don't know. Doesn't need to be this big. And I want to find a way to suggest that, because I kind of want the dude on the north. Oh, we sort of have this same problem about the monster. Like, what if this guy is here? Right? And no, I guess when you yeah, that's not good. I kind of want it to be unavoidable which way the monster is facing. We could start one of these guys on a stone. Oh, no. See, if I make it a boring island like this, there's no way to get the stones off the wall. This is the setup. Yeah, I mean, I just say this is the setup. I don't know what you would call it. Okay. I'm actually going to take a break and go to bed. I think this is a promising level. It seems fun. The question is just, how to make it an interesting activity, because you don't want to tell the player what to do, right? So what we were setting up before was like, look, if we heavily telegraph what to do, then you do it. And now we would like it to be like, well, actually, and really on the right hand side, I don't think that right island needs to be more than 2 wide now. So like all that, I think, can go. I'm pretty sure. Oops. Like we could sort of cut it down to like that, and that's fine. Which is nicer. So I'll just do this a little bit before going to bed, but there's still a little bit to figure out about how to set up the level. The thing about 2 people aggroing the monster and which way does it turn, that is definitely kind of a thing. Like maybe if you push him, he aggroes you, right? Even if there's somebody else the same distance, then you're the preferential target. I mean, that's weird because it's an extra complicated rule, but it's also like kind of makes sense in a puzzle solving way. It's like, okay, I can't move him. Like I know what direction he's going to be facing, right? Is what I'm getting at. All right, everybody, I'm going to go to bed. You don't think that's too complicated for the audience of this game? Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes, it's not that it's too complicated to understand. It's that it doesn't feel good if it's a little arbitrary or a little complicated. But I will sleep on it. Definitely, based on the other levels that I was trying to design before, there need to be a few changes in the aggro rules anyway. And so maybe what I'll do is just try I'll just try a new candidate set of rules. I'll revise it, and we'll just kind of see if that helps. Yeah, I want to do more game design streams because they're fun to do. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you later on. Have a good night. Have a good night.